This is one of the main hubs of the Strait of Malacca. The port of Singapore is now the world's second busiest after Shanghai. A crucial gateway linking Asia to the West, handling nearly 41 million containers each year.
So a wide range of goods actually passes through our port daily, such as electronics, machinery, as well as food products. We are also actually a major hub for energy products, such as petroleum and liquefied natural gas. And Singapore has always been a major trade route, a key node in a major trade route in the region. There are close to more than 200 shipping lines, global shipping lines, that connect us to more than 600 ports in the world.
60 years after its independence from Malaysia, Singapore has evolved from a small fishing village in the 1950s to a thriving global metropolis. With a territory half the size of London, the country now has the highest GDP per capita in Asia. With no tax on dividends, low corporate tax rates, Singapore is the fourth largest financial center in the world, an El Dorado for multinationals. In the past 5 years, the French Chamber of Commerce has helped 250 French subsidiaries set up here.
All the big companies are here. I think there are an estimated 7,000 multinational corporations in Singapore. It's a very business-friendly environment with exceptional stability since Singapore's independence.
Singapore was built thanks to waves of Asian migration in the 19th century. Today, 75% of its population is of Chinese origin, the rest Malay or Indian. In the city-state's main museum, the national narrative celebrates figures from a bygone era, like the rickshaw puller.
I traveled by ship all the way down to Singapore. Many of us came here to seek a better life. We want to earn money so they can send back home to China.
In 1819, British officer Stamford Raffles turned Singapore into a colonial trading post. 200 years later, his name is still celebrated. But historians criticize this glorification of colonial figures, accusing the government of rewriting or erasing parts of history for political purposes. This pressure forced some critics to abandon their work, while others, like Thumpin Jin, have gone into exile. The historian settled in Kyoto after exposing the arbitrary detentions of hundreds of people by the government during the Cold War.
I had my home raided. I had my laptop, my phone confiscated. I was called up for interrogation multiple times by the police. Singapore uses our reading of history to justify the government's authoritarianism. Any part of the history that shows that the government made serious mistakes has been very much erased. We have created a very fragile society that doesn't have a diversity of views and that also unquestioningly accepts authority.
Behind Singapore's tall buildings and luxurious facades, 1 million migrant workers do the hard jobs that keep the city running. They build the towers, roads, clean the homes, and make up 30% of the country's workforce. Many come from Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and India. They work in tough conditions for wages 12 times lower than what locals earn.
Yes, no problem. When working shipyard, stay dormitory, right? How many people sleeping together in the dormitory?
14 men.
When accident happened at the shipyard, company give the treatment?
Sometimes company give treatment, sometimes company no help them.
Every evening, Ethan and his organization meet workers, providing them with food and support against abuse from their employers.
They often have to pay really, really high recruitment fees, as high as 20,000 Singapore dollars. Whatever unreasonable thing that the employer asks them to do, they will follow. And in fact, in the past couple of years, we had like a record high number of fatalities, meaning workers who lost their lives. Despite having the protections in place, the actual enforcement of the protections are not there.
Singapore, a temple of ultra-performance wrapped in a democratic illusion. Since 1965, the People's Action Party has remained in power without interruption. An illiberal democracy where human rights defenders, especially those opposing the death penalty, are targeted by the government, prosecuted for misinformation or defamation. Hong Lim Park is the only place where demonstrations are allowed. For human rights activist Kirsten Han, it is the very symbol of state control.
Singapore is a very punitive country, so you will see it in schools in the way that children are taught. You will see it in the workplace, the way that workers are sort of monitored by their bosses. And I think the death penalty is just the most extreme and obvious version of that. There were some things that we did 15 years ago that we would be investigated for today, but we weren't back then. Like, this party has been in power with successive governments since 1959. They're not used to people disagreeing. They're not used to people saying no. They're not used to people resisting.
In May 2025, the ruling party reaffirmed its popularity, securing 87 of the parliament's 97 seats. Dissenting voices struggle to exist in a democracy under constant surveillance.